Could the average modern-day person survive in 1700s America? What would you have to adapt to or overcome in order to survive? Here are the biggest obstacles you would face. The first being illness and the lack of medicine. Smallpox, measles, the flu, scarlet fever, yellow fever were common diseases that were regularly fatal in the 1700s, whereas today, smallpox and scarlet fever have been eradicated and vaccines are available to treat and prevent all of these. George Washington, possibly the most famous man in the world at the time of his death in 1799, died of a simple throat infection, which was possibly sped up by the practice of bloodletting, or removing sickly blood in order to treat many infections of the day. The doctors removed an estimated 40% of Washington's blood in an attempt to cure his illness. Thankfully, bloodletting is a thing of the past. Any sickness could be fatal with the extreme lack of medical knowledge of the era, so you would want to make sure to wear your mask, even if you're in your car by yourself. Next, food and water. There was no FDA like there is today. While there were limited food and safety measures, mostly overlooked by local and state governments, there was no way of telling if the pork you just purchased was infected with salmonella or not, or that your local pub wasn't going to give you dysentery due to the poor hygiene of its workers. This may be the least of your worries, because unless you're traveling back in time with a lot of money, you would need to be able to grow your own food for survival. In the 1700s, nearly 90% of Americans survived by raising their own livestock and growing their own food. And if they did not have a successful year on the homestead, they went hungry or relied on local charity for their survival. If you're struggling to afford a house in modern day America, no worries, because land was cheap in the 1700s. The only catch is that you would have to more than likely build your own home in order to have shelter. Unless you lived in an early established city such as Boston or Philadelphia, most Americans of the era constructed their own homes with the help of family, friends, and local community, using local wood, stones, and bricks. So unless you are quite the handyman, I hope you enjoy camping, which wouldn't be far off from living in a 1700s home anyways, considering that there was no air conditioning, toilets, or electricity. Only the wealthiest people had running water in their house, and even then the water purity couldn't always be trusted. So could the average modern day person survive in 1700s America? Possibly, but only if you're Bear Grylls or Luke from the Outdoor Boys. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing for more American history content.